Hello everyone, Darko 2012 here with Global Government News, and I'm covering an article from organichealth.com. Actually, it's organichealthadvisor.com. It's titled, "Is the H1N1 Swine Flu Vaccine Causing Miscarriages? 9 new stories of pain and loss from the pregnant women who lost their babies after receiving the H1N1 vaccine." And I'm covering this, of course, even though I know that the whole swine flu and H1N1 vaccines, for the most part, are the whole ordeal is finished with until the man-made bioattack that takes place this spring and next fall. It's pretty much over. So the only real H1N1 vaccines that are out there being used are the ones that are going to be going to third world nations, which I posted an article in a video, made into a video, and it's called H1 leftover H1N1 vaccines going to third world test subjects. So you can check that out as well. It says, "Is the H1N1 swine flu vaccine causing miscarriages? Is the vaccine safer for pregnant women to take?" Those are questions that thousands upon thousands of pregnant women have wrestled with over the past couple of months as they have decided what to do about the H1N1 swine flu. The WHO and the U.S. health authorities insisted that the H1N1 swine flu vaccine was perfectly safe for pregnant women and pushed them to the front of the line. So thousands of women did run out and get themselves injected with the vaccine. That's right, yeah, women and children were the priority. Old people didn't get the shots. They were told that they had automatic immunity, and they ended up some of them ended up dying because they got really sick. The elderly, that is. Now reports are pouring in from all around the United States of women who have lost their babies very quickly after receiving the H1N1 vaccine. Many of these women are overcome with pain and a feeling of loss and are looking for answers. They end up on sites like this one because the mainstream media won't touch this story with a 10-foot pole, lest they offend the pharmaceutical giants and their millions of dollars in ad money. Fortunately, there are alternatives to the mainstream media now. The following are stories from 9 of our readers who have lost their babies very soon after getting the H1N1 swine flu vaccine. We challenge anyone who still believes in the safety of this vaccine to read all the following stories, then to explain to the rest of us why we should not be concerned. The truth is that the H1N1 swine flu vaccine is not safe for pregnant women. The following are unedited personal testimonies left as comments by readers of this site. And, the H1N1 swine flu vaccine, when I was posting videos and doing everything I could to tell people to think about it and do the research before they take the vaccine, that it wasn't going to kill you instantly, that there was going to be issues and problems, medical problems that are going to occur down the road. I've even heard and read about it being used to alter our DNA to cause cancer. But these are things that you're not going to see right away, and you're not going to just pass out and die after you take the vaccine. But the long-term effects, and of course, if you're a pregnant woman, the effects are probably more sudden and visible. So here we go. There's, I believe there's like maybe, was it 10? Okay, 9. And it's not too long, so, but it's pretty good stuff. So, it's not good stuff for them. It's just, it's terrible news. It's good to see that somebody's actually covering this. If you haven't had a miscarriage, you shouldn't comment about someone that has. This is my second miscarriage. I know my first miscarriage had absolutely nothing to do with the H1N1 shot because it was in 2003. However, this time I believe there definitely could be a connection. I had 3 healthy babies after my first miscarriage. When I went to have my H1N1 shot, which was highly recommended by the health office workers since I was pregnant and at a higher risk of H1N1, I was around 5 weeks pregnant. When I went in for my next OB appointment, I had an ultrasound that showed that I was only 5 weeks and 2 days, although by that point I was almost 9 weeks pregnant. I never had any symptoms. The baby just died. Instead of reading about how pregnant women shouldn't get the shot, the only thing I read about pregnant women in the H1N1 shot is that they were top priority for the shot and should have done it as soon as possible. My doctor thought I may have just miscalculated and waited another few weeks to test the levels once a week until we knew for sure that it was going on. 3 weeks later, should have been 12 weeks pregnant. I was told that the ultrasound was still showing 5 weeks and 2 days and that the baby was no longer living. I had to have a DNC, and not only was the physical pain traumatizing, but the emotional pain was beyond bearable. Something needs to be done. Please take all this into consideration before deciding if you're going to get the shot. I wish I would have. There seems to be a way too many stories for this to be a coincidence. If this is what our country is coming to, God, please help us all. And then there's Amy, the second person. I got the H1N1 vaccine when I was 4.5 weeks pregnant. I started bleeding 2 weeks later and went into the doctor. Was told my pregnancy looked perfect for a 4.5 week pregnancy. Sounds like to me that everything was perfect until I got the vaccination. We were completely devastated, and I wish I would have known the risk before I got it before I got it. But the doctors will tell you miscarriages happen every day, but that is not good enough for me. The third person was from Canada. We were in our 6 month of pregnancy, and also we got the vaccine. We also lost our baby within 10 days of taking the vaccine. We also asked our doctor what would have caused this, and they gave us many of reasons. Then we brought up the H1N1 vaccine, and before we can get in the "-ine" out of vaccine, they dismissed it as a possible cause. And that's exactly the way I would picture this scenario playing out, where they don't even let you even talk. They just talk down to you like you're a child who doesn't know anything, and the establishment and the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies know best for you. I asked how it could be everything else, and this is not even considered and dismissed immediately. I think if they did a study and found out that it did cause miscarriages, the entire health system would be under scrutiny and lawsuits. It was our second child, of which we do not have a history of miscarriages or any medical or health issues. Upon delivery, the baby looked perfect and no umbilical cord around his neck. I may not finish all of these guys, so I'll just scroll down and I'll post a link. So, last month on November 16th, I had a son premature at 22 weeks along with my pregnancy. He lived 5 hours and then died of a heart failure. About a week prior, I'd received the H1N1 flu vaccine. I'd been cramping in my lower abdomen and bleeding heavily on Thursday night after 75 hours of labor, trying to keep my son inside of me as long as possible. I delivered him on Monday morning. After reading many of these stories, I'm convinced that I would still be pregnant if I had denied the vaccine. The fifth person was Lucy. I should be 11 weeks and 2 days pregnant today. I had an appointment with my OBGYN today and was told from the info on my ultrasound that my baby stopped growing on the exact day I had the H1N1 vaccine. This is a very sad day for my family, and this would have been our first baby. I submitted a report of my adverse event on the following website. To all those who have had problems with the vaccine, I would have suggested to report your event as well so the government can track this. After researching the H1N1 vaccine, which I would have done before I took the vaccine, I cannot believe that all these officials and medical professionals would think for a minute that injecting a drug that may contain mercury, formaldehyde, polysorbate 80 associated with infertility, Triton X100, a strong detergent, I can't pronounce that, but antifreeze, and other toxic ingredients would be safe. It seems as if there's a hidden agenda out there. Just think of billions of dollars that these pharmaceutical companies are making. Could that be the agenda? I wonder, how can the pharmaceutical companies get away with giving vaccines that can cause death to anyone? It's a sad story, everybody, but the truth of the matter is that once they raised the flu pandemic, the World Health Organization, along with the CDC in the United States, raised the flu pandemic level to 6. Insurance, these pharmaceutical companies, vaccine makers, were no longer liable. They were no longer liable for any of the health effects. So that's why they ramped it up and made a big deal out of about the virus, so that they can raise that level and bring zero liability to these vaccine companies. And it's a sad story, and I don't even really want to go into eugenics here because I don't have the time. But money and profits are one part of it. The other part of it is there's too many people on the earth, according to them. That's not my belief, but here's the rest of them. And